Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of the Anime Bros. If you saw us last week, that's what we talked about Naruto. We also had a guest. Check that out if you haven't seen it. This week we're talking about in my opinion, a massively underrated anime, Mirai Nikki. It's being hosted by me, Christian, and my co-host Matt.
What's up? Yeah, Mirai Nikki, I hadn't seen it or even heard about it till you and Rob showed it to me. I do agree. It's very underrated, and it does like kick off really quickly. Like episode 1, there's already lots of action, and if you stick around for episode 2, your favorite character, right? She just gets the dart right to the eye, so it gets going really quick. And I don't know, what do you think about it overall?
I think it was pretty great overall. I want to know, I guess that is definitely a popular fan favorite of like Yuno being that character. Why is she your favorite character?
Oh, just because I think she's like the most skilled. Obviously, she just like goes on a rampage pretty much from episode 1. Like Yuki doesn't even really know what's going on, and then she's just already got his back, and then she just like piles up the body count, and she's like only 14. I don't even know how she's so good, but
now, is she the most skilled, or did she have experience from the prior world, which allowed her to basically know what was going on?
I mean, I don't even know how she would have survived the first go round if she wasn't skilled.
She survived by luck, I would say. Just a little bit of tenacity. But I don't know if she was the most skilled. I think my favorite character, actually, I think there was a lot more characters that was more skilled than she was. It was just that she kind of had that ulterior knowledge of knowing what to do. But I think the Knight stood out. I think she was the best character overall. She was the one that Data's trusted with his godlike power. He was like, you know what? I know something's going on. Out of all the diary users, you're the one I trust the most. Not the one who created the game. That was like, he just stood behind the scenes. Not Yuki, because he was pretty much useless. He trusted the Knight.
He really was useless. Like I was thinking that the whole time I was watching. Like
he
goes back and forth so much on whether he should just like trust Yuno or not. I feel like he should have just been down right from the start, and then it would have been like completely different. Like after they're done with the shrine, when they get rid of 6th, and then 12th ends up dying there too as well. Like they're in the back of the cop car, and then he just starts like kissing her and stuff, and he's like, all right, this is cool, like she's gonna help me out. And then ever since that point, he flip-flops so many times on like whether he's gonna team up with her or not. He should have just been down right from the start. I don't think she would have ever drugged him later on in the show if he was just down right from the start and wasn't so useless. Like she pretty much had to do that because she was thinking like, if I just let him like run around and do whatever he wants, he's gonna end up dying because he has no skills and is really dumb.
To be fair though, and it is a point I like to bring back to Naruto. We have to remember, we have to put this in a context. He is only 14. I mean, at 14, I don't know if I would be doing that. I probably would have bailed out after the first guy tried to kill me at my high school. And then the lady's trying to blow me up with bombs. He's 14. Just like Sasuke was only, 8 or 9 when he got like hit with that trauma from his older brother. This is a dude, Sasuke was 16. He's out here trying to take on 5 Kages that are like double his age. If we put the age into context, Sasuke was also flip-flopping. He's 16. He's been hit with some trauma. This kid is 14. He's seeing people die left and right. He's also committed a murder. Would you be able to commit a murder at 14, Matt? Answer me that.
I mean, he was thrown into a circumstance where he had no other choice. So if I have no other choices, then
he was. Now, but let's just take it back. Let's take it back.
I'm not just going out there like killing people at 14 under my own free will. But if like people are trying to kill me, it's like, am I just gonna sit there and take it?
That's true. We say that now, but 10 years ago, imagine yourself, freshman year in high school. All right, you're out here, you're playing video games, you're having fun with your friends, and you got this batshit crazy girl after you every single day that's shown the skill that she's killed people before, and now she's following you around. A little bit crazy. Would you have welcomed her with open arms?
Well, the diaries that everyone got were like a reflection of themselves, pretty much. And you can see like in her diary that she's like all about Yuki. So
That is true.
I don't think there's any like ill will coming from her diary. Her diary's like checking up on her, letting her know exactly what's going on.
That's true. But think about this. Her diary tells you what you're doing every 10 minutes, right? I don't know if you remember what ninth grade. I was sleeping in class, but do you remember yourself being in ninth grade and having a girl who's killed multiple people before stalking you, telling you what you're doing every 10 minutes? And it's creepy. It's creepy. I don't think you would enjoy that very much. You're out here trying to get like all A's and B's, and then you got this girl like swinging axes at people and then dragging you along with it.
I think you guys see the bigger picture though, because it's not just that this girl's like creepy because she's killed people. It's like there's other people trying to kill you too, like adults that you've never even met are coming after you. So I would definitely like use her as a tool to survive. But he keeps going back and forth like, can I trust her? It's like, well, I really don't know what your other choices are because you have no skills. And then there's other people with future diaries coming after you trying to kill you. So I would just stick close to her.
That's true. Wait. But with that being said, we're able to look at the bigger picture. Did you ever see any fights in your high school, right? Did you ever like see any fights in the hallway or anything happen?
I mean, not like in the show.
No. In your high school, like, when you were in high school, did you see any fights in the hallways? Did you see like anything bad happening with teachers and things like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and were you a good Samaritan at 14 years old, jumping into that fight, and who do you believe was on the right side, trying to save whoever was losing that battle?
The only one I can really think of, I saw like from across the lunchroom, so I was like nowhere near it.
But did you run over and try to save whoever was like getting thrashed?
It was honestly over by the time I got there, or by the time I would have gotten there.
Would you have?
But no, I didn't do anything. I was just eating my pizza or whatever.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to say, at 14 years old, we are incapable of seeing the bigger picture. This dude is worried about his own survival, and
how's he incapable of seeing that? He gets summoned by Deus and sees all the other diary users, and he knows what's up at that point.
To be fair, he thought it was all imaginary until like he was very well like deep into that.
No, he was definitely late to the game, but
yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how he's the only one that thought that it was an imaginary game, but
because he doesn't talk, he doesn't talk to anyone else. He had no way of verifying it.
Still,
he's used to just being in his head all day, so he just thought it was something else that was in his head. But then once they all got summoned, after Third was like the first one to die because Yuno helped him out, and after Third died, then he gets pretty much explained what's going on, and then I feel like from that point on, he should have been like, all right, we're teaming up. Like, I obviously can't survive on my own. But instead, he like tries to like, oh, I really just want Hina to be my friend. Like right now, I really want to just make some friends. I was like, why are you even like concerned with making friends right now when there's people out to kill you?
Are you just trying to tell me you did not care about making friends in high school?
Dude, I'm telling you, at that point, your life completely, you're trying to become God at that point, or at least survive.
You're trying to survive. But with that being said, the more friends you have, the higher your chance of survival. Because I
get that you need allies, but he was like trying to like throw Yuno aside for these new friends, and I'm like, he didn't even introduce Yuno to those guys. Like, she got introduced at the very, very end. He's like, yo, after we've been like hanging out for a few hours, this is Yuno. She's my girlfriend now. He didn't even introduce her, and he kind of just like treats her like trash the whole show when she's the only reason he's even alive.
I agree with that. I think he did treat her like trash, and there should have been more leeway at the beginning.
And that's why she sees like, okay, like he treats me like trash. He obviously like isn't taking this game seriously. He's just trying to like run out there and make friends. He gets like super excited that he made one friend rather than like trying to actually like get intel and survive. So she's like, I obviously got to tie him up and hide him because he's like, if I just let him run amok, he's gonna like get offed.
Wait, but that being said, you're also on the assumption that like he believes he has to play this game. He thinks that if he doesn't do anything, it's gonna go away. Like he thinks that the game is optional at this point. He's being forced to play, but he still thinks that if he does nothing, then nothing's gonna happen to him. He can stay on the sideline, which backs up his diary, which is the observer diary. He stands to the side and observes everything that's going on around him.
Yeah, but Fifth, like the little boy, like came to his home, so obviously he can't just sit aside and do nothing because a diary user was like adopted into his home. Like, so he sees what happened when he does nothing. Like, they just get brought in, introduced to his whole family without him doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, but like, this dude's dancing. I mean, he's obviously like not the smartest tool in the shed. I mean, honestly, if I would have saw that baby, I would have killed him as soon as I've seen him. The baby was so obvious a diary user. I don't know how he didn't see that, but the baby also got almost killed, too. So, but after he missed
he tried. I don't know if he almost did. Oh well, I guess no, you're right. When he had the poison in the house, I was thinking about when he tried to stab the pillow, but no, you're right.
I was thinking about when he almost set the bathtub on
yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, and then Yuki saved her. I mean, at that point, I would have been like,
that's another great point. Like, Yuki ran out there and saved her. Like, he didn't have to do that. He chose to run out there and save her. And then episodes later, he's like, "Oh my God, this girl's crazy. Like, can I trust her?" I was like, "Dude, you just risked your life to save her. Why are you flip flopping so much?"
I mean, because it's like some things are okay and some things aren't. It's like she was a kid at the beginning, but then it's like she increasingly, was like pushing the envelope where you're just like, all right, chill. It was like at the beginning we were trying to survive. Now we're actively going out and like murdering these dudes. Like, come on now.
Dude, you saw what happened at the end when they actually like teamed up. Like, they were unstoppable. They should have just done that from the beginning.
I mean, that was after his mom died. That was a traumatic experience that he had to go through in order to like get him to that point.
Like, I don't even think it was really, this is another part that surprised me. It wasn't even really when his mom died. It was, for some reason, it was when his dad died. Then he was like, "Oh, I gotta win."
Because that was his last parent. I mean, I guess if you would have switched them and like if the dad would have died first and then the mom would have been just as.
I don't even know why he cared about his dad, because dad killed his mom.
Yes, you can't just be like. Even if one parent killed the other, you can still have that love for both of them.
I would not. If my dad killed my mom, it'd be done.
But you wouldn't be like, "Hey, look, you deserve to go to jail, but I still thank you for those childhood memories." I have like the parental love for you. It's just like on the surface, love is gone. I no longer respect you.
His dad disrespected him so much because
he did. He was
because well, there's the obvious point where like he tried to like break Yuki's phone, which would have ultimately killed Yuki. But there's a more subtle point where when he's doing his rehab training with Minane with Ninth, his dad beats him so bad in the race that he had time to write him a note and make him a sandwich.
I didn't think of that point. That's a good point. But I mean,
have you ever been beat so bad in an activity where they're just like waiting for you and they just write you a whole long letter and then just make you a sandwich that's all prepared for you?
That he didn't have the letter already made and the sandwich.
Unless he was running around with that in his pocket. There was a soda too. I would have think with all that stuff weighing you down, you probably wouldn't have won the race. Yeah. That's even.
Sandwich in the letter he had, and then he just went and bought a soda and bought it back.
Just the fact that he had time to do all that, I would think running a race with a sandwich in your pocket would put you at a disadvantage because it'd probably be like awkward.
Nah, besides a track star, right? Besides like people who are like playing basketball, football, anything in like high school sports. Could be in a race against any 14-year-old that's like probably normal athleticism right now, I will burn him.
Would you? Are you in good shape right now?
Yeah, in excellent shape. And come on, Matt, a 14-year-old kid, we will burn him. We would dominate. And then Yuki obviously was already not that athletic anyways. So give me a less than athletic 14-year-old and be like, "Hey, look, you guys are going to sprint it to 100 yards. I will burn him to the ground," or theoretically, I would destroy him and win the race.
I would just imagine you doing that, and then like the sandwich like falling out of your pocket or the soda falling out.
And that he got the soda at the end. I think he got the soda at the end, and I'm pretty sure that race was longer than 100 yards anyway. Didn't they like jog around a mountain or something like that, or a hill?
Yeah, it was like up a mountain or something, but
Yeah, exactly.
that was just so funny to me because I like had forgot that part when I was rewatching it, and then I just see that he has this whole meal prepared for him, and his dad's like nowhere in sight. His dad like got the hell out of there too.
Wait! Wasn't the dad was teaming up with Minin, wasn't she, for that race? The night, like when they were both training, them two were like kind of like in it together.
Well, Minade was talking to Yuki for a minute. She was also on a bicycle.
See, how do we know that she didn't already have it prepared at the end of the race? Because they already knew what the outcome was going to be. It was clear as day that he was going to beat him by a long shot. So it'd be easy to plan that ahead.
I don't know. Yuki beat him in every other event, so I don't know. I didn't think it was clear that he would smoke him that bad to where he could just like.
To us, it wasn't clear, but to them, it could have been clear.
I guess I just thought it was funny how.
Oh yeah, it was definitely hilarious. But I mean, he did take like a deadbeat dad to a new level. He definitely did a lot of disrespectful stuff. I'll give him a pass on the phone. You know, he's just trying to get out of debt. He didn't know the phone was going to kill his kid.
How you get $3 million in debt?
Ask all these celebrities. They $50 million in debt. Kanye at one time was $50 million. It was 150. You can get a couple $1 million in debt. It's been done before. Expensive hospital bills.
Yeah.
And his son was like, yo, break your son's cell phone. He said, yo, look, he was breaking it. He said, I can buy you any cell phone you want, like for the money he was about to get. So he was, even when he was about to like destroy this dude's life, he was thinking that it's only a cell phone.
Yeah, but then he just parachuted off the building and left him there to die.
That was actually, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He took deadbeat to a new level. He was like, you know what, this building is going down. And then not only did he like leave him there, he also like killed his mom afterwards.
Before he even got to the ground.
Yeah, that.
His dad moves fast, apparently. Makes the sandwiches quick, and he makes the moves quick.
He was a shit character. That's all I can say about him.
Yeah.
But the mom was nice. I wish that he was able to keep his mom. But
the mom was trying to hook him up.
Exactly.
He's like, yeah, you can pound Yuno, just don't like make a lot of noise.
Exactly. She was the real one. She was ride or die. She was like, hey, look, we already know what's going to happen. She was ready for them to get married and everything. She didn't even see her kid grow up, which is very funny that at the end he was so heartbroken over Yuki being dead that, you know, he should have just like, if he was a real one, he would have went to the third world, killed himself, and then like grew up with his family again.
Who?
Yuki killed himself and lived with his mom again.
Instead of becoming God?
No, after he became a god. Like he was like depressed because Yuno.
Oh, well then he didn't want to kill himself. He was like, he thought it was crazy that Yuno did that in the second iteration.
Which would have been so symbolic if it was like a full circle. Like, yo, I can't believe she killed herself. But at the end, he's like, damn, I'm gonna have to do this.
Well, one of the questions I have is like, how did he even become God if Ninth was still alive?
So they declared him the winner.
So it just didn't even matter. It was.
Yeah, they declared him the winner because I think, when the Ninth was given her powers, she was no longer in the game because her diary was destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah, her diary was destroyed. She was saved by giving those half the godlike powers.
That's what I figured. And then there's just two of her in the third world.
Yes, but I mean, her other self never comes in contact with her, so it's all good.
Yeah,
I think she got a happy ending. Except wasn't she missing a hand?
Yeah, but it was weird. When Deus like gave Mirene all those powers, her hand came back because earlier in the show she was missing a hand. I forget why.
She had to cut it off for some reason. No, was it she blew it up?
Yeah, it got blown off when right before Misajima died.
Mm-hmm.
When they're in that, so her hand got blown off, but then when she got all those powers from Deus, she had both hands. She got the hand back, but her eye wasn't restored. So why'd you give her hand back, but not also her eye?
I can't remember. Because I feel like I've seen another anime before, but it's like, I mean, the hand is like a physical thing, organ or whatever to grow that back. Eye is a little bit more, little bit more difficult in order to bring that back. I think it makes sense for her growing her hand back.
I feel like she should have just been completely restored, unless she's just rocking the eye patch and her eye is good.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Wait, maybe it was Naruto. Like they was able to bring a hand back, but the eye was like still gone forever. I can't really remember the circumstances behind it, but I think it makes sense that her eye didn't come back, but her hand did. She did have to go through a lot in order to like get to that end game. She still ended up having a good happy ending though. My thing is they kind of like meshed all these worlds together, and it's not like they didn't really even neither one of them ended up with a person like from their world. It was like, fuck it, we'll just go to this other world and then like basically recreate the circumstances that should have happened in our world.
Yeah, like because at the very end, the second Yuki ends up with the third Yuno.
Yeah,
and then the second Mirene is just with the third Misajima.
Exactly, but it was like, I mean,
they're the same person, I guess.
They are the same person, but like even with the third, she had to have her conscious and memories implemented from like the first world in order to like become, or in order to remember her time with Yuki.
Yeah, and I actually made the mistake of like I didn't even check out that the redial episode until recently, and I had seen Mirai Nikki like 3 times before I even checked out that episode, so I was always just very confused at the end at like how even got there.
That makes so much sense. You're like, I can't confused how she got there. I'm like, I mean, it kind of explained the episode, but maybe you meant.
I wasn't sure if she had to like win the third. She became the third god or what. Like I didn't know what happened.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, this is a separate point, but I feel like Yuno and Yuki shouldn't even have won because I don't know how like Seventh like didn't just break their diaries like right as soon as they got them.
Yeah, that was very weird. I did like those 2 characters like the more they were in the show, but yeah, it should have been like we got the diaries cracked, done for, take them out of the game. There was something
because they were pretty much on the same team as Eighth because they like grew up in her orphanage.
They did.
So it would have been even though Seventh is like considered one number, there's 2 of them, and then there's Eighth, so it would have been like 3-on-1 just to take out 11th after that.
I felt sad for Eighth because she was a kind soul, a little bit even underneath, but like she didn't deserve to go down like that.
Oh, there was like a complete flip flop with her because she was she had all her minions like trying to take out the mayor. Like I remember they were all teaming.
The mayor was evil.
No, but they teamed up with Yuki and Yuno to try and take out the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just he like jammed all the cell phones with his limo, and then Yuki and Yuno like start massacring all her minions. And then she just like runs down the cliff and like gets in the limo with 11th.
Yeah.
So she had a complete flip flop. She was just trying to kill him a minute ago, and then she's like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here." And gets in the limo with the person she was trying to kill like 2 minutes ago.
Hey, she needs to do what she wants. She needs to do what she needs to survive, and that's what she was looking out for.
Well, that comes back to my first point of what Yuki should have been doing the whole time. Like, he should have just teamed up with Yuno because obviously that's what you had to do to survive.
Nah, because I mean, kind of flipped up at the end too. She was like, I would win this game for him, and I would get him to kill me. And that then she was like, fuck that, let me kill him instead.
No. That's not how it happened. That's not how I interpreted it. She literally said, Yuki, kill me. And he's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. We should just both die. And then she was like, that is a dumb idea. She's like, one of us needs to win. So then she's like, all right, I'll win. She gave him every opportunity to like.
She did. But let us not forget that she lied and told him that he can bring people back from the dead if he wins the game. But she knew that wasn't true because she won in the first world. She knew that wasn't true. So she lied to him.
I'm trying to remember if she actually ever said that or if it was like a lie of omission, like by her just not clarifying the truth. Because I'm pretty sure he just like was saying, oh, I'll just bring everyone back. And then she just never corrected him.
I feel like that's just as bad.
Yeah, but
I feel like
be out here making false assumptions.
That's true, but if I said, "Oh, I'm a rob Walmart. There's nothing's gonna happen to me. You're standing right next to me, and we're walking into the store, and I'm like, yep, I'm about to rob Walmart. I'm gonna take this TV, and you know that if I take the TV, I get arrested, and I don't know that, and you just let me take the TV. You flip flop. You could have saved me from going to jail, and that's essentially what Yuno did. She knew that like even if Yuki won, he wasn't gonna be able to like bring anybody back, and her lie of omission led him to make decisions he wouldn't have made if he had known that from the beginning.
No, I get that. But
actually, with that being said, if you could choose any diary power diary user, which diary would you choose?
If I'm understanding the use of this diary correctly, I would pick 12th because he could pretty much just like hypnotize people, right?
I think so. Actually, let me look up what each diary power was.
Because I was always confused about what his diary actually did, but then I looked it up in like the episode synopsis or summary of the episode that he was in, and it was saying that he was hypnotizing all those cult members. And then those like the clones of him that were on the building with him, like when he did that attack, there was 5 of them. Apparently those were cult members dressed like him that he had hypnotized.
Yeah. Well, so no, you're confused. He had the Justice Diary.
Yeah, but he was hypnotizing all those cult members. That's why all the riots were going on, and the Sacred Eye cult.
Yeah, let me see if I can see future diary.
Because when I read the episode summary, they were saying like 6th Tsunaki, I think that was her name or something. Tsubaki. Yeah, she was like having Yuki stay with her in that like isolated portion of that shrine or whatever. And then all the cult members just start like hacking up the other cult members. Oh. And apparently it was because Samatsu the 12th was, I think, hypnotizing the cult members.
So you're talking about Tsubaki's diary?
That's not the one I want, but I was talking about her. I was talking about 12th.
So the Tsubaki's diary is the one that could manipulate. The Justice diary could not.
That ain't right.
Well, then why was she like, she was manipulating the cult members to kill themselves? To kill the other cult members? Because remember, they were all like hacking each other up with axes.
They were, but Tsubaki didn't have the 12th diary.
Yes, I understand that. I was saying I thought that the cult members were attacking each other because of 12th.
No, they weren't. They were attacking each other because of Tsubaki's diary. So the 12th had nothing to do with that. He was like a bystander.
Oh, I thought when I read it, it was saying that he was the one like hypnotizing all them because he was the one that hypnotized the cult. He was the one that hypnotized the cult members to dress up as him.
Okay, yeah, actually, so it says the diary used by the 12th is an audio recorder which predicts and alerts him to acts of injustice around him. Unfortunately, it doesn't discriminate between great acts and simple acts, such as littering. Also has the ability to hypnotize people, putting them under his complete control.
Yeah, I would want to have that power.
It reflects him as a heroic vigilante, he claims. Okay. But it looks like they can only be put on your power if they're doing an act of injustice. So against people who are like not doing anything, your diary have no effect.
I mean, that's fine. I'll just hypnotize all the criminals to be on my side. I feel like Sixth I had the worst because of how big her diary was.
The 6th, let's see.
Like when Yuki threw that dart, he like didn't even have to be accurate. He just had to hit part of the scroll, like any part of the scroll, and she would have died.
That's true.
So I feel like that's a huge weakness just with how big it is.
Yeah, it says its large and fragile nature makes it extremely vulnerable to use.
I feel like she had the saddest story.
She did. That was rough. She had one of the saddest backstories. I was like, I guess they had to make it one of the diary users, but still. See, if I had to choose a diary. Yeah, I might have to go with the 8th.
8th? Well, his just seemed like it was the best.
It enables him to transform people who link to the blog diary into apprentice diary users. It was a lady. It was the big-headed lady.
Oh, I was thinking of 11th for a second. Yeah, no. So you want to just make copies? You want to be like the?
Yeah. Look, it's kind of like
I felt like that one was the most useless one.
What do you mean? It gives her a potential army to fight on her behalf, and allows people to
if you inspire them to stay on your side, but you could just give someone a future diary and they're like, word, RIP, so I'm going to go do my own thing now.
But I'm going with survivability here, right? So it's kind of like Death Note, right? Obviously, things had to fall perfectly in line for L to discover exactly where Light Yagami was, exactly like what school he went to, exactly who was using the Death Note in order to kill people.
He just wasn't being careful at all. We'll have a future debate all about Death Note, but I just feel like he was being really dumb and with what he was doing.
He wasn't being careful, but like logically speaking, off of that broadcast, there's no way you should be able to narrow that to only him. And anybody in the real world, if they're using Death Note, you are not finding out who the owner of that is if they're just randomly killing criminals across the world. That's kind of like what his blog diary is. If we are playing this game in real life and I have a blog diary, there's just no logical way that you're going to discover who has the real diary. I'm going to be super careful. You're not going to figure out that I'm the actual one with the diary. You are not going to figure out the secret. You're just going to think of like 100 different people have diaries. And if you can find me out of the 100, out of the 1,000, out of how many times I replicate this diary and make other diary users have that diary, I probably deserve to die. But you're not going to be able to catch me. They figure out you have the Justice diary. They just don't commit an act. They come at you. They kill your diary. It's over. You're done. The game's over for you.
Yeah, but how would they figure out that I have it?
When you're manipulating people and then they're like, they link they link to what you're trying to do. So like, oh shoot, Matt was
yeah, but if you're making it so everyone has a future diary, so how would you know like who, if anyone, is like originally playing the game?
So no, we're still playing the game. There's still 12 future diary users, and out of the 12 that's playing the game, which diary user or which diary would you rather have?
I feel like you're making it easier for me to blend in unless you're keeping track of like the thousands of people that you gave fake diaries to, and then you're going to isolate the people that aren't the ones that you gave diaries to.
What do you mean?
Like if you're giving diaries to like thousands of people, I don't think I'm going to stand out if I use my diary unless you actually keep track of every single person you gave a diary to. And then cross-reference like, oh, this person's doing some stuff and I didn't give them a future diary, so they must be one of the players.
my thing is I'm giving it to 1,000 diary users in order to like help me blend in. So yeah, me and you will blend in, but you have to remember there's 10 other people. They're probably trying to kill you too, so they will cross-reference what you're doing and come after you. They're not going to get me. I'm like, I can't be cross-referenced and found.
I just feel like you're helping me. You're helping everybody blend in. You're not just helping yourself blend in.
That's true. I'm helping
So it's like
everyone.
the benefit that you're adding is actually just benefiting everybody.
It is. But the thing is, with my diary, I'm not really trying to kill anybody, and I'm not trying to get killed. My diary is benefiting everyone because I'm trying to prevent myself from being killed, and I'm not hunting out people to kill anyone. The thing is, there's other 10 diary users that are trying to kill somebody, and I think they're gonna find you before they find me.
What if I just like manipulate what I consider to be a crime?
Could you do that though?
Yeah, it's Yuno essentially did that in the show. She like forgot that Yuki came over to her house that one time. She just like altered her memories to be like, "Oh, this is your first time over here," like because he was like, "Where are all those bodies that I saw before?" Because that wall, the wall was taped up when Aru was there. Like Aru sent him on that fake wedding trip, and then he was like, which we haven't even
Yeah,
talked about Aru at all yet, but he sent him on that fake
second
wedding trip,
character.
and then he was just spying around Yuno's house the whole time. And then when Yuki came back, she was like, "Oh, this is the first time you've been here. Like, let me like make you guys some food." So she like altered her memories, so like she thought that was the first time they'd come over. So what if I just like alter my definition of what crime is?
Let me look at exactly how the Justice Diary manipulates people to see if there's any limits to that.
It's based off what he considers a crime because he was always running around like, even if you litter, I'm going to bring you to justice. So it's based off his diary entries. That's how the game worked. It like kind of fed off of their diary entries prior to the game.
Yeah, but if you're constantly saying, "Hey, look, I'm gonna change the way I view crime or manipulate it," wouldn't actually work that way because you're constantly making that decision. Whereas isn't like the diary can sense that and it wouldn't do anything for you.
I guess just up front before I even get the power, when I'm making my entries up front, I would just have to like put down variations of crime so that when I start getting the future entries that it incorporates all of them.
Why don't you get the what about the Watcher Diary that allows you to see where all your enemies are at?
Nah, because I feel like that's kind of like the style that you want to play the game, where you just want to hide out. Like if he had a good diary for hiding out the whole time.
He did have a good diary for that, but that's not. That wouldn't be me though. I couldn't know where everyone is at. It can be easily fed with like misinformation. Like that was his undoing. Um, that would be pretty helpful, but I think being able to blend in and just like pop up multiple diary users each time I want to, I like that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can it like give me more information on this Justice Diary?
I don't know. I just thought he went out pretty quickly, but I thought he was a pretty cool character. Only 3 diary users on the show actually got kills.
So apparently, they said that Yuki killed the second most people, only behind Yuno.
Yeah, because only 3 people got kills. It was just Yuno, Yuki, and Kurisu killed 10th.
I thought there was more.
No, that was it. I was keeping track as I was rewatching it. Kurisu killed 10th, like Hinata's dad, the guy with the dog diary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he killed 10th, and then Yuki and Yuno killed everybody else.
I think that's true, actually.
I mean, the max it could have been was 6, because if there's 12 people, 6 of them each kill 1. Then those 6 that are still alive would be the ones killing the rest of the people. So only 6 total people could have got kills, but only 3 of them ended up doing it.
I guess, yeah, I couldn't. wouldn't it be 11 total people can get kills?
No, because once one person kills one person, then there's only 11 people left. And then once a second person kills someone, then there's only 10 people left. So not 11 people can get kills, only 6.
That ain't right.
All right, what if
You got 6 people. They eat out of 12, and the 6 out of 12 each kill one person, but they don't kill the other people that are getting kills.
Nah, because what if person number 1 kills person number 2?
And then person number 3 kills person number 4. Person number 5
person number 3 kills person number 1, and then person number 4 kills person number 3.
Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe.
So it keeps on going down.
All right, you're right. Yeah, 11. But only 3 people did. Only 3 people did, though.
That's true. I mean, 'cause not everybody out here trying to pull the trigger. Like, wait, the mayor didn't kill anybody?
Who?
The mayor?
No.
Well, I guess, okay, wait, it depends. Like, are we kind of like other Future Diary users, or are we just kind of like...
I was just talking about Future Diary users.
Okay. Because I say this dude was like going around just like...
Yeah, because then in that case, Ninth actually did kill like a ton of people by blowing up the school.
So I think when I was reading the wiki, it was like Yuki killed like the second most people total, only behind Yuno. So it was kind of everybody that like died, not just like Future Diary users.
I don't know about that because I feel like Ninth killed a lot of people.
Let's see. I can tell you in a sec. He has the second highest named kill count among Diary users, only behind Yuno. He killed Hiyama, Tsubaki, Hinata, Mao, Kasaki. He also damaged Benene's left eye, shot Kurusu, and directly contributed to AI's death at Yuno's hand. He did. It looks like he went on a little bit of killing spree.
Yeah, but you just don't know how many people Ninth actually blew up in the hospital and in the school.
All right, let's see if it might have her count too on people she killed.
Because that was actually a pretty short list. I feel like killed more people than that just in one scene when she had that the machine gun.
That was funny.
She killed more than that list you just named off in that one scene, probably. You're a big Aru fan, right?
Yes, the kid with the silver hair, right?
Huh?
I thought his name was Ari.
It might be different in the sub.
Wait, let's see.
I have it pulled up. I have the character list pulled up. It's Aru Akase.
Akase, yeah. Wait. She and Tsukishima are the only diary owners who were not killed by Yukiteru or Yuno.
Who?
The Ninth.
Well, yeah, because she never dies. And then the other one, was it 10th? Is that who you were talking about?
I believe so.
Which he didn't really have a big role in the show.
Yeah, that doesn't really show.
Because he didn't even really use his diary. He just gave it to Hinata.
Mm-hmm. He did let her control the dogs. I want to know. I want somebody to dissect the Justice Diary powers.
Well, maybe someone in the comments hit him up. What's your question?
My thing is like, what's the I guess what's the how is he able to manipulate other people? Like, what has to happen in order for that allows him to use that power?
I think it was just if they were a criminal, which is like kind of a loose definition, but I guess they just had to be a criminal in his mind.
But I don't know. He said he also believes his justice to be a lie. Let's see.
I don't know. I just thought he had a pretty cool power. I'm surprised he didn't last as long. But it's probably because he came in direct contact with Yuno, which was his first mistake. Shouldn't be charging her. He was pretty much like running right at her, and she just ran at him back.
All right, so it says the hypnosis wears off after a short while.
Well, yeah, you saw that because when they were hacking up the other cult members, they like would snap out of it and be like, "What am I doing again?"
Mm-hmm. Oh, it can also cause hallucinations. I do remember that. Remember when he caught Menene and he convinced her that the piece of wood was her diary?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I thought he was pretty cool. He just didn't end up lasting that long. But he did pretty much go to a war zone. There was 5 diary users where he was hanging out. There was him, Tsubaki, Yuno, Yuki, and Minane all just chilling in that shrine area or the cult area. So he did kind of go to where like a bunch of users were, which I think is the pretty big mistake. I feel like you would want to lay low at the beginning of the game. You wouldn't want to just like go out and have to where the battlefield's at.
That's true. I mean, yes, that is a pretty good diary. Your only thing is you can only listen to it. Like it's only audio. It'd be tough.
It's in his own voice too, though. So it's probably when you're like reading something, there's room to interpret what you're reading. Like we that's kind of like what English class was back in the day. You'd like read a section and then everyone would just say like what their viewpoint on it was. He's listening to an audio of his own voice, so he probably like understands exactly what the message is.
That's true. That's true. That's a fair point. But you're gonna be stuck because it predicts any act of injustice, even something minor as littering. So that means someone could blow up a bank like a second after someone was littering, and you're only going to hear the littering part.
Yeah, but I'm just going to hypnotize whoever it is. At that point, they're a drone regardless. I don't know if the drones have different skill abilities because like he hypnotized one cult member. He was pretty proficient with that axe that he was using to hack people up. I don't know if he had any prior training with that axe, but he seemed like he knew what he was doing. So maybe one drone's as good as another.
That's true. I will have to say that was probably like one of my my favorite scenes when all 5 of them were like.
And that's very early in the show too. Like I feel like this show it doesn't waste any time, just like kind of getting the ball rolling.
It doesn't, but all 5 of them was there, and figure out which one was the actual which one was the actual diary holder, and then she just like slammed him upside the head with the axe. That was one of my favorite scenes.
It was just because he was actually listening to it rather than looking to where the rock was.
It was so funny too. Yeah, because like that, I actually had to go back and watch that. When I first watched it, I had to watch that scene like 2 or 3 times to see her throw the rock behind her back.
Oh, is that what she did?
Oh yeah. You have to go watch that scene frame by frame. You'll see her like throw to the right, but you'll see the rock leave her left hand.
Okay, because I was wondering, like, I was like, even if she threw it to one direction, the people who could see would still be looking that direction. But you're saying she threw it the opposite way. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
she threw it to the right. Everybody like looked, I could see, looked that way. He heard the noise, but she like threw from behind.
I knew he was back. Yeah, I knew he was blind, so it must have been playing off of that fact. But I just thought she threw it the same direction the noise was coming from. So I just always thought that part didn't really make sense, even though I knew what they were trying to do. But yeah, she threw it behind her. Yeah, dude, like she's really smart. She's really skilled.
She was. She just came out. She was like, oh.
And she's one of the main characters.
My thing was though, bro, you never should. Why would you go down there with yourself? You put the bomb in somebody else. Well, I guess he is a justice warrior, so he would only put the bomb in him because he thought it was the right thing to do. But he should not have went down there in the first place. He should let his 4 minions go down there and then like stayed up. Or he should not have looked at where the rock was at anyway. He should have just like kept running straight. because there was really no reason for anybody to look at the Rock. Like, the Rock missed, so you have to keep your eyes on your target.
No, I think you make a good point. Like, he shouldn't even have been there at all. He could have just like had those other guys dress up for him and go there.
But as the Justice Warrior, he has to be like forefront, which actually would be pretty interesting if you chose his diary. I think you're choosing to also be blind too, because it is an audio message diary because he was blind.
No, I don't think I'm choosing to be blind. I think I'm just choosing a diary. Maybe the version of his diary that I would get would actually be a cell phone. I just want his power, is what I'm saying.
I got you. I think his power is partly because he's also blind, which is why he got that.
Okay. Well, that makes sense, and that's also why you would never want to pick Sixth as diary, because it's just like the biggest target.
Okay, yeah. Well, if we had to put the game all on the even ground, when everybody had a cell phone,
you couldn't. You don't have to do that. I'm just saying with Six, like, she couldn't even like put her diary in her pocket. Like, she literally couldn't. She has to be lugging that thing around.
But she can use a book bag.
All right, you just running around with book bag then.
Although that was one of the main points I also disliked, was like how quick Yuki was quick to trust this girl. That
every girl.
Yeah, every girl except Yuno. He trusted every girl instantly except Yuno. And I was like,
He pulled Hinata's pants down, and then she's like, "You look like someone I'd want to know." And then, well, it didn't happen in that sequence, but both those things did. both those things.
I was like, yeah, wait.
No, but like pretty much he has like a really awkward relationship with her right off the bat, and then she's like, "Oh, you look like someone I'd want to know." And he's like, "What? Oh my! Oh, okay. Like, let me just like dive in the deep end, like all my trust in you, and like stay over there, even though you've like helped me survive in multiple situations. If I was about to die, and then this girl saves my life, like I wouldn't like treat her like trash." Oh, especially if we're playing the same game that only 12 people in the world are playing. Like, I would be like, all right, obviously you're on my side, at least for now.
That's true. I would keep an eye out, but like obviously. But speaking on Hinata and like all them, let's talk about my dude Aru Akase.
All right, what about him?
He was quite simply the second best character of the series. He was the best supporting character. I had mixed feelings about how they were like, at the end, they basically said, "Hey, look, I'm the one who created you and put you into this game." I would have liked it a little bit more if he was an actual character, not something Deus put into the game. But I did like his backstory nonetheless.
Well, did Deus create everyone?
No. He only created Aru.
Oh.
Like I'm pretty sure like the mayor was the one who actually had the idea for the game.
Yeah, that's correct.
And then everyone else was just like, this happened to be, I guess whatever they were doing at that point in time was what caused them to join the game. But Aru was actually like created by Deus in order to like.
No, I picked up on that. I just wasn't sure if since he was God, he created everybody.
I don't think stuff in there all like all the memories and stuff like that. But this way, Aru. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just curious if Aru had any memories of a childhood then, or if he was just created when the game was created.
I think he said he implanted false memories in him. So he had memories.
So did everybody else just see him as like a new student to the school?
Yes.
He did have his own. He did have his own apartment too. That's where I didn't realize that that's what that place was, but I guess that's where him and Yuno were wrestling at the end before Yuki killed everybody. Hinata, Mao, and Hosaka.
Yeah, and it looks like
I guess that was Aru's apartment they were fighting in. So I guess he didn't like have parents either.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Which makes sense if he was just like randomly created.
So it says in a spinoff that he has parents, but their origins are unknown. But it said before the game he lives a fairly normal life. But
What source is this? Are they just like speculating? Because you don't see any of that in the show or hear mention of it unless they talk about it in the sub.
So it's in a spinoff that I haven't seen yet.
There's a spinoff.
Yeah, there's a couple of spinoffs. That's why you need to use my anime list.
I mean, he was a pretty cool character. I thought it was interesting that he was just like so interested in the game. I guess it was because it was under Deus's will, but
it was.
He's pretty much outsmarting the diary users. With I don't know how he won that coin trick that he was doing when the other ones knew the future. He's just somehow beating them out by having them guess in the wrong hand.
Wait, what do you mean?
When they were getting attacked by the dogs right after that, he was like flipping that coin up and saying, guess which hand it's in.
Yeah. He won that purely off of logic and probability, which is really good.
Yeah, but I understand how he won the last one because he manipulated Yuki's memory by telling him that he lost even when he didn't, so that it was a 50-50 chance. But I don't know how he won the first couple when Hina was just looking right at the phone.
Oh, the first couple was by luck.
I'm just saying I don't know how the diary that Hinata was holding was telling her the wrong answer.
Wait, what do you mean it was telling her the wrong answer?
Because he was like, guess which hand it's in, and then Hinata was like, it's in your right or whatever, and it was actually in his other hand.
Yeah, because she chose wrong.
Yeah, but she was looking at the diary the whole time. She didn't even really guess. She was just going based off what the diary was telling her.
Wasn't that when she was holding Yuki's diary?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was basically whatever Yuki believed that he observed.
Oh.
So he thought that
but it's telling him the future. Like all those other events, he didn't technically observe them. His phone was just telling him what the future was.
It was telling him his future based on his perception. So it's still like he could still very well change the future, but in his mind, he thought that was going to be in his left hand, and it wasn't. Where she messed up was on the second one because the first one lied or like it was a different perception. She wanted to go with the opposite hand, and the second one was actually correct, which is why she missed the second one again.
Yeah, I just don't get that because based off of the way his diary works, it's telling him the future. Those aren't necessarily things he observed because it's telling him what the future holds. You can't observe the future.
Yeah, but it was the same thing when they finally went to the third one and they knocked him out. Like
I got that one. I understood how that one worked. I just don't know why the phone was wrong up front on the first one.
So I think it was wrong. It was wrong up front on the first one for the same reason it was wrong on the third one. Even though he was knocked out, it still predicted the future. It still predicted that like. They were like, oh yes, it is in his right hand, and they knocked him out. So even if he's unconscious, the diary still was like, hey, look, the coin's in his right hand. Even though that was wrong, it still predicted the future, even though he wasn't there to see it. So it was still like that on the first toss. It still predicted the future, even if he wouldn't have been there to see it. It still like gave them something. It was just wrong information. So each coin toss, it made a prediction. And even though he wasn't there to like hear the prediction, it still gave one. It just didn't give no information at all.
Yeah, I mean, I get the second and third one. It's just I would have thought the first one, since it's predicting the future, it would have just had it correct.
What do you mean?
I just felt like when she looked at the phone, it would have been the right answer.
Yeah, but it was it had as much chance of being the right answer as it had being the wrong answer.
So I guess the phone was just saying like he observed it being in the right, but that doesn't mean it actually was.
Yeah, I think.
So then that would just mean his phone doesn't really work on probability in general, I guess.
True. Let's see if we can.
I understand the third one completely because they fed him the wrong answer. So based off his perception, the diary wouldn't be accurate. Because he's already assuming that something false happened. But I just would have thought the first one, since it predicts the future, it would have been correct.
Yeah, let's see if it says anything about that.
Who do you think the biggest scrub in the show was?
Biggest scrub in the show, his dad.
Was Dad?
Easily.
Yeah, I think Hosaka's up there, but his dad's probably the biggest scrub.
How else goes at the top three?
Yeah, he did get a good punch on Yuki at the end, like square to his face.
Hey, but he was like, well, he was the other seventh one, right?
He was what?
The seventh one.
Hosaka?
The team of two. No. Hosaka was the funny dude. Dude, he was funny. I liked him.
Yeah.
He had some like funny moments, but I think in general he was a good like he was a good balance. You need that dude in the crew.
Yeah, just to be the brunt of everyone's jokes.
All right, let's see if it like.
What was the fifth diary user? Was he could just tell the future 3 times a day? Was that it?
Yeah, the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that morning, day, and night, and then he could plan his day around those events.
I don't get how that's any different than anybody else's diary. They're pretty much telling you like the future.
Yeah, his diary was like one of the weakest ones, I believe.
Yeah, that's probably why he got picked off so early. He did do a pretty good job of handling the 2-on-1 though.
He did. He went in there as the underdog, and
he almost pulled it off. He was winning for a minute.
He was. So then they realized that it's a baby. Actually,
And then Ninth saved him after that. That was another one of my questions. Is why did she like save them? She Yuno was walking down the stairs with the antidote right after they killed Fifth, and then she just collapses next to Yuki before she can give it to him. And then Ninth shows up and just like saves them both. Like I don't get why when a future diary holder is like, I can understand like what 8th and 11th were doing, where they're just like chilling the whole time. So I guess 7th was kind of doing that too. They like chilled for most of the game until it came down to be not as many people left. But so I can understand like chilling back and like observing, but like Ninth went out of her way to like save other competitors.
Because she's a fighter, she's a competitor. But think of it like this:
she's a predator. That's like the opposite of being a predator. She like saved their life.
No, a competitor.
Oh, competitor. I thought you said a predator.
But think of it like this: it's like obviously everyone was gunning after number one, right? They're like, "Yo, we need to get this dude out. He's already killed like one dude. Yeah, he's the most dangerous."
Which that's just, I feel like that's really surprising or anything like counterintuitive based off his like his personality, like where they're like, "Oh, dude, he's the best. We got to get him." It's like, but in reality, he's like really like. I still don't know how he won after watching the show like several times.
Hey, sometimes you need a little bit of luck, like, and luck was on his side. But my thing is, I think she already had an alliance in order to like with the other dude to save him.
Yeah, but you saw throughout the show those alliances really meant nothing, except for Yuno. She's the only one that meant it.
So in the trial round, it says that Aru won because of guessing and some meddling. Oh, remember in the trial round, it was like her flipping the coin or something, and Aru was able to guess it correctly because he knew which hand it was in.
What was that?
So in the trial round, Aru wins because he was able to guess which hand the coin. She was able to guess. She was the one that flipped it. Aru won because he guessed which hand it was in, and because Yuki and Yuno helped him. So you remember when she flipped the coin first, and then he had to choose which hand it was in?
I thought he flipped it every time.
No. He flipped it. She flipped it first before they agreed to play the game.
Okay.
So they agreed to play the game and did a trial round. She flipped it. He guessed which hand it was in. because you can, help them. All right. Because of that, Aru kind of played it off and said that, hey, look, my diary told me the answer. Because he said that, she believed that his diary could read the diary she had. So in the next round, the actual round, she did the opposite of what the diary told her.
Okay, so just everything was messed up based off the lie that he had a diary.
Yeah. So
Okay.
based off of the beginning, the trial round, she decided to do the opposite.
Yeah, there's like a lot of subtle points in this show that I didn't pick up on, obviously, the first couple times I watched it. So it's a good anime, I think, just to rewatch, and you just pick up on stuff every time you watch it.
Have you watched it in sub?
No, I was actually going to ask you, do they tell you what the diary messages say in subbed?
Yes.
Okay, I feel like that'd be like a great... because in the dub... I don't know why, but in the dub, it doesn't tell you what the diary messages say. You just see the Japanese text.
Yeah, so in the because that makes more sense for the coin toss. It tells you for like the trial round, like what's happening, and it tells you what the diary says. In the sub, it tells you what each diary message says, and I also think the subtitles tell you what the diary says also. So because I watched it twice in sub and twice in dub. And you get a lot more information in the sub. You see like a lot more subtleness.
Yeah, so I think based off that, this would probably be one it's better to watch in sub, even though I normally watch stuff in dub.
Hey,
next time I watch it, I'll have to check it out in the sub, because I think in the redial episode, it actually shows which there's only like one or two scenes. It's just when Yuki's looking at his diary in the void. But it actually gives you the subtitles for that. I don't know why the dub didn't do that the whole time.
I'm not sure either. Well, I'm guessing because it still costs a lot of money to make a dub episode. And I think if they would have did that, maybe it would have cost them even more money each episode.
Just to put some text in there?
Hey, we already looked it up, and it costs like around $100,000 to $300,000 to create an anime episode.
No, I never looked this up, but
I thought I looked it up with you.
No. I thought you just have to pay the people to do the voiceovers, because you're not really changing the animation at all in a dub episode. So I would think you would just have to pay the actors for their time to sit there and do the voiceover, and then maybe you gotta edit it together so that it syncs up kind of with their mouth movements. So yeah, maybe, but it's all based off the audio.
Man, you get to pay them even more to like read what each diary entry was, and there was quite a few diary entries each episode, which means sub 1, dub 0.
For this show, yeah.
Well, wait, watching a sub, and then I'll let you like come in with your answer after that.
No, I can, based off of what you just told me, I would think the sub is better, because that was a key point that was lacking when you watch it in dub, is that you're not seeing what the diary entries are actually saying. The only one that you do see what it says is the is 12th, because it's the audio, and they actually dubbed what his audio was saying in his diary. And then I guess you have the character, like, if the character is sitting there reading it verbatim, you'll know what the message is. But sometimes they just read their phone and they're like, oh my gosh, like, we gotta get out of here now. And
it's only up there for like half a second.
Yeah, but it doesn't even put the subtitle up there, so you have no idea what the phone actually said. You just you just assume based off like what their next course of action is.
Yeah, it's up there for half a second, and then it doesn't let you know anything. So I would definitely say if you have the opportunity, watching it sub. But I actually think that's a great ending point.
Okay, yeah, that works.
I would say highly recommend this anime. A lot of spoilers, but if you haven't seen it, watch.
There's gonna be spoilers in all our shows, so we should just put that up on the title.
That is true. Because I mean,
when we kicked off the episode, we didn't even like give a background on what the show was actually about. We actually just dove like straight into like our opinions on the show. So.
Hey, well, like you just got two the opinion on the show. Highly recommend. For me, I'd give it 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I would probably say the same. It's honestly, I think it would be in my top 5. I mean, I haven't seen as many animes as you, but it's one of the best that I've seen.
Yeah, I would say of all the anime I've seen, it is. I think it's in my top 5. I think I have it at number 5 or number 6, but 100% top 10 anime I've ever seen. Definitely highly recommend subversion, even if you don't like sub, because there is a lot of information when you can read each text in the diary and it fills in a lot of the background from it. But with that being said, keep your eye out for diary user number 9. We didn't even go over like the mayor and all the other diary users, but it's the main ones we kind of went over. But the 9th is the best character in the show, followed by Aru. And then, of course, you have, Yuno's third for me. Yuno is third.
For how much you like 9th, we didn't even really talk about her much.
We already know what kind of role she played in the show. I mean, she got it done what needed to be done.
Yeah, she definitely.
She plays an integral part to it.
I definitely liked her character development too, as like going from a loner to starting to team up with people at the end, and kind of seeing the bigger picture, seeing that Murmur's messing with the game, and she's like the only one that really confronts Murmur head on.
Exactly. And she was bad, and she's like around my age, so it's like waifu right there.
She's what?
She's around our age.
Okay. She got the purple hair, so that's cool. I like purple.
Purple hair was the best. Slightly better than pink.
Yeah, maybe.
But definitely better.
I mean, to your point, gets it done as well.
She does get it done, but
I named my cat after her.
Fair point.
She didn't make an appearance in this episode. She's like chilling over there. But
yeah, we have to add this in as like bloopers. But like, all right, wait, how do we pronounce her name though? Is it Menene or Menine?
Minene? That's how they say it. That's how they say it in the dub. The sub might also just do a better job of telling the story, because I think a cool segment of the show is going to be that I'm mostly going to be watching it in dub and you're mostly going to be watching it in sub. So there might be some like tiny nuances or tiny differences like in how the story is told just based off the two different versions. So maybe there's a lot of parts that I was kind of confused on when I went and watched it all the way through. I had to go like check out the fandom and the wiki to see like some of the points, but maybe the sub does a better job of telling the story.
The sub does indeed do a better job.
I would think for sure with having the ability to see what the diary entries are actually saying. Since I don't know Japanese, I didn't know what they were saying.
Yeah, the subtitles really help a lot with that.
Yeah.
But what we'll have to do is, Tim, we'll have to do some splicing anyways, because we should connect this last 2 minutes and put it at the end as bloopers.
I don't know if it's really bloopers. I feel like it kind of goes with what we were saying, but we can cut it off here.
Yeah, I mean, even now that I just said we should put it at the end as bloopers, we don't have to cut that part out, or I guess we can leave that in if it goes with the show, as you said. But
I mean, I feel like it goes with the show. We've still been talking, but check us out next episode. I'll just cut it off here, and me and Christian will keep talking.
I could say I was about to say that was the end of the show. Like, check us out next week. See you guys later. Watch the episode.
So I'm cutting it off.
But you got